Hello there, my name's Chloe. I'm the co-founder of Two Green Shoots and we're delighted to be back for week 3 of our Creativity and Calm in the Garden series with the Wellbeing Network West Cork. So this week's session looked at foraging your own wild tea. Now it's really early in the season, so today we focused on the first few wild botanicals that are starting to come through. And indeed in your area, if you're further inland, things might be a little bit later. So these would be things to look out for that start emerging in the coming weeks. So we made 2 teas. The first tea was a morning kind of wake up tea, and a really nourishing one. And it included 3 different botanicals, those being stingy nettle, which we all know and hate. And I hope today I'll convince you to love it a little bit more. The second and third botanicals were plantain, also known as ribwort, has those distinctive ribs on the back of the leaf. This is a hybrid between greater and lesser plantain, greater having broad leaves and lesser having much narrower, longer leaves. They have the distinctive little seed bubbles. The lesser has a little bobble at the end of a stalk, and the greater plantain, also known as rat's tail, has a distinctive rat tail with seeds up along the sides. And the third botanical for a really fresh flavour is mint. And as I was saying, it's only just starting to come through in the garden, but you could help to speed up the process by bringing a few stems into the house, putting them in a jar of water, and they'll start to shoot and produce leaves a lot quicker. You'll also be making some mint cuttings, so these will actually shoot and you'll have some mint that you can grow and give to people. So to make that tea, you're literally adding a section of nettle into a cup. You're adding a couple of plantain leaves crushed, which you just work the leaf back and forward. You'll start to hear it crack and crunch, and that's just breaking it up a little bit. And then the third thing is you're adding a section of mint leaves. So at this time of year, they're really quite small. So I'd be adding all of those leaves. In the summer, they'll be much bigger and you can add less. But I like a really minty tea. So again, with all of this, it's to your taste. You are going to add on top of those leaves some hot water, not boiling, so leave it for a couple of minutes after boiling just to come down in temperature a little bit. You're going to pour that over your leaves and leave it to infuse for 5 minutes. The other thing which I'd recommend is adding a teaspoon of honey. It just sweetens it and just gives it a really lovely flavour, and honey is just such a fantastic thing for helping kind of calm any sore throats. So after 5 minutes you can enjoy that. I like to leave my herbs actually just loose in a cup, but you can use little strainers if you want to actually strain those leaves out. The second tea we looked at was a kind of an evening calming tea, and that was made with ginger. And I was recommending to everybody to have a go at growing your own ginger. It's a fantastic house plant, and you just want to be putting those rhizomes into the top of a large pot of compost, making sure that you pick rhizomes that have the beginnings of some little shoots starting to come through. And make sure that they're peeking out over the top of the compost, so they're showing. Add a layer of gravel and just water sparingly, so you're just keeping it moist but not wet. And after about a year you'll have a gorgeous tropical looking houseplant, and then a whole pot full of rhizomes, your own fresh ginger. So for the tea, you're going to take a couple of slices of the stem or of the rhizome, quite thin slices. They're almost like miniature crisps. And I like to put a couple of those into the cup. And then the second ingredient is our gorse blossom. And you'll find when you pick your gorse, it has like an outer sheath. So you're actually just removing that and just using the petals on the inside. And you want to put about a teaspoon worth of those petals into your cup. And I'll just show you now. I don't know if this is going to show on the screen. No, it's actually I'll just tip this so you can see. You'll have this gorgeous golden mug of really warming tea. So the ginger has a gorgeous warming quality. If you've been outside all day, it'll really help to kind of warm you up. And obviously ginger is anti-inflammatory. It's really lovely as a digestive. So after your evening meal will just help to kind of settle your tummy. And the gorse just has such a beautiful yellow, bright colour that'll brighten up the greyest days. And again, I'd add a teaspoon of your honey into this just to give it just a little bit of sweetness. So there you have it. You have your evening warming brew with ginger and gorse blossom, and a nice morning pick-me-up with the plantain, nettle and mint. Hope you enjoyed today's session, and as ever, if you have any questions, please get in touch with Ita at the Wellbeing Network West Cork, and we look forward to seeing you for our final session next week.